Hello, I'm Jennifer Goodfriend, VP of Enterprise Sales at Recruiter.com, and I'm going to walk you through two of our largest offerings at the organization. Recruiter.com is really an on-demand recruiting platform. We partner with companies large and small, from high-growth startups to Fortune 100 organizations. We're a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. And what really sets us apart is the way that we recruit, which you'll learn more about in a minute. The recruiting industry is booming. If you've looked at the news recently, you've seen headlines such as that on this slide. The Great Resignation is really in full gear. Recruiters at this point in time are harder to recruit for than engineers. You have candidates that are now in a job hopper phase lasting 12 to 18 months in an organization before they move on to what's next. And so companies are not just focused on their open headcount in order to scale, grow, and service current business, but they also have to be focused on candidates that are attriting month after month and have the necessary headcount to fill not just those new open positions, but also the positions that open up more unexpectedly, or in this market, expectedly. Here are some of the things our clients say to us before they start a partnership with Recruiter.com. Their recruiters are underwater. They're simply handling too high of a rec load. There is never enough time to source. Perhaps the recruiting team is stellar at engaging candidates and really selling in the opportunity and handholding that candidate through the process, but they don't have enough time to fill the funnel with qualified candidates to then engage. Our clients talk a lot about the fact that they can't just be focused on open headcount, that they also have to worry about attrition. And they also talk about, their recruiting team is not the same as it once was. Oftentimes there are less recruiters on the team today, or they have more open positions for recruiters because they need that recruiter headcount in order to keep up with their growth. Recruiter.com has two really straightforward recruiting solutions, and yet we solve for pretty complex challenges in the recruiting market. One is our talent sourcing software. This is AI technology that we leverage on behalf of our clients. It's an easy, fast, and reliable way to fill up your recruiting pipeline. And we'll talk more about that in a second. The other is what we call Recruiters on Demand. It just so happens that we at Recruiter.com are the largest network of contract recruiters, really globally. In the United States alone, we have 17,000 recruiters. And as such, we enable companies, small and medium-sized companies, as well as large companies, to tap into our on-demand recruiters to quickly grow and scale their recruiting team as needed. A bit more information on our talent sourcing software. So you remember seeing on slides prior that many of our clients really struggle with finding time to source qualified candidates. That's exactly what we do. We build a top of funnel that is as wide as you need it to be for the open headcount and an equation that accounts for upcoming attrition. These candidates are messaged by Recruiter.com via email in a sequenced capacity where you have a very high number of hand raisers based on the outreach that we conduct. Very different than a one-off note, with restrictions around how many words can be in that note. This is an email where candidates want to be reached, oftentimes at a moment in time when they want to be reached. And we believe in our technology so much that we've actually leveraged it to build our entire team here at Recruiter.com. What I'd also like to touch on is our data. And so looking at this slide, you'll see there's 150 million candidates in the United States that we have access to. That just about represents the entire working population in the US. So this is much different than a social media platform or a resume database where recruiters often source from and buy licenses to. Moving on to the Recruiter on Demand product, I mentioned that our network of contract recruiters is extremely vast. We give our clients the utmost flexibility to scale up or down by augmenting their team with all different types of talent acquisition and recruiting professionals, be it an actual recruiter, a full desk recruiter, a recruiting coordinator, a technical recruiter, a media recruiter. Perhaps you just need a project manager to oversee a handful of recruiters working at your org. All of that is possible within our Recruiter on Demand network. And many clients leverage different types of talent acquisition professionals from us as they need. We've got a few logos here to show you. Our client base is very impressive. A lot of these names will speak for themselves. What's also very interesting is that while these clients are different sizes, again, high growth startups to Fortune 100 companies, you'll also notice that they represent all different types of industries. And that is because recruiting is, of course, agnostic of industry. Every industry needs talent. But it also is a testament to that 150 million candidate-wide database that I mentioned. Those candidates could be truck drivers, they could be, senior product managers, they could be exquisite Java engineers. And so our clients tap into us for that reason exactly. I've got a few case studies in here, which I'll probably skip over for the purpose of this conversation, but just know that in handling business like a Dentsu on the media and advertising side, we scaled up their team with multiple on-demand recruiters. We also drove pipeline for some of those roles that Dentsu considered evergreen in nature, that they consistently need to hire qualified candidates for. We did the same for Moody's in the financial sector and wanted to throw in a company that is perhaps not as large in scale, where we were looking for more of a needle in a haystack, a very specialized position that we were able to leverage our database, our AI sourcing technology to land the plane in really less than 3 months. And that's the nuts and bolts of our two largest service offerings here at Recruiter.com, the Recruiter on Demand service, as well as our AI technology sourcing platform. Thank you.